Alrighty. And we are live on YouTube, but not quite on Instagram. Okay. I think that it's working. If not, it wasn't meant to be. Um, good day, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, depending on when you are watching this. Thank you so much for sharing your energy with me, as well as Levi. My name is Tiffany Hillcook, and a few years ago, I found myself in a place where, quite literally, the life that I had spent countless hours was just no longer working for me. And as a result of that, um, spirit started to communicate and manifest themselves in my life, and as a result, I came to understand a greater purpose of mine, and it is to help raise the vibration of Earth, and that led me to wanting to go live and do live channeled readings for individuals, because I firmly believe that vulnerability creates vulnerability and love attracts love. And so, albeit this reading is going to be for Levi, and we quite literally just met about a minute ago. Albeit is for him, we are all connected. And if you're watching this, I can guarantee there's going to be some sort of information, words that he says or I say that will resonate and solicit some sort of healing or connection as well. Um, Before we get started, Amy Pearson says hello. Hi to Levi. And let's see here. Oh, one other thing that I just wanted to share is I do go live on Thursdays and on Sundays. Sundays is traditionally more going to be, I guess, sharing of resources. I have different individuals that I have conversations with. But just wanted to share with you that every Thursday I do go live and do these readings. They are free. If you are interested in receiving a reading, in the description box below, there should be a contacts tab. Send me a message. It is intuitively guided. It's like if it feels good in my gut, I do it. If it doesn't, it just may not be the right time, or I may not be the right resource. So, Kim Frank, and can you see the comments as well, Levi, on your end?
Let me see.
You don't have to if you don't want. I
No.
just didn't
Oh,
want to be
yeah, I do
okay.
now. I had to click on the button. Yeah.
Awesome. I didn't want to be redundant if so, but I see Rada's here, Kim's here, and I'm not sure her 2 and 20 productions. Oh, John's here as well. So let's see, where do we want to start here? And I told Levi before we started, for some reason, I have a little bit of nerves today, and I don't know why. So that's just an interesting feeling for myself. So, Spirit, where would we like to start? Where would we like to start? It's interesting where they're wanting to start a little bit. Let me see how I want to express this. You obviously are a spiritual person, and you obviously there's that dimension of yourself that you do identify with. But how they're making me feel is, are there times, and I even feel weird saying this, that you find it, I don't want to say difficult, maybe not weird, but to express based off of your gender. I don't know why that's coming up for some reason. Gender.
Um, yeah, I'm not sure.
Okay. So that doesn't resonate there.
No.
Okay.
But I've talked with, Amy and Kim and all that in the past.
Yeah.
I have a tough time sometimes dividing spirituality and religion. Um,
Oh,
and
okay.
the religion side of it, for me, I kind of have my own issues with. So, you know,
100%. I can understand
yeah.
that. I thankfully wasn't raised with a lot of religion, albeit I had other traumas that I had to resolve. But that wasn't one that I had necessarily. Yeah, the feeling that I get, and also what's interesting is I'm having a slight hard, I haven't fully connected with your energy just yet. I have a little bit of it, but it's just more faint. But how they're describing it to me is that you have this desire, but you don't maybe necessarily know how to express it, or how to open the channel to actualize it. It's kind of like, how I would describe it is there's sometimes I get these ideas and then I'm like, but I don't even know how to make it happen. Like I'm like, that would be really cool, but like, what do I do with this? What is it that I'm supposed to do with this energy? And so let's see here. Um, let's see. Well, I will tell you this. What is unique about your energy is they're likening it almost to a rock. And what I mean by a rock is there is a stability to your energy. There is it's almost as if when people are around you, they're automatically rooted or grounded. And I've never actually had that come through in a reading. Um, but even so, how they're describing it is like, uh, you would do really well in like conflict oriented type situations, and not that you're actually doing anything in the situation in the sense of like um intentionally going into diffuse something, but just your energy alone almost takes energy from this to just this. There's a calmness that it's almost as if how they're even describing it is like I just got imagery of like you walking into the DMV and all I can hear is just chatter, right? I think if you were to have like the closed captioning, it would say like indistinct words, or you're not able to quite fully understand what's being said, but there's just a murmur. Um, it's like there would just be wherever you go, a calmness almost follows. It's kind of like how uh, a baby can just be sleeping, and all of a sudden, when people start to approach it, they just start talking quieter.
Yeah.
And it's a baby, right? The baby has discernibly no power, no, they are able to command. I mean, they're helpless in so many ways, but they're able to command this energy about them. I am getting as well that are there ways in which you would like to learn how to express your spiritual dimension more? Like how you
Yeah.
can with that? Because
y-
I get that as
Yeah.
well. Cool. Just know, and this is not going to be the first time, and Spirit just said this will definitely not be the last time that I say this, is your gifts just look different. And as opposed to mine, like I actually just met with this lady this last week. Her name is Penny Lynn, and she's going to be going live with me next week. And she is just a phenomenal channel. And albeit I'm a channel, her channel just works differently. And I was just like in awe and flabbergasted. And I'm so thankful that I have such gratitude for my gifts, because I could see how it would be a very slippery slope of me almost wanting to compare my gifts to hers, right? Because what she was able to access was different than mine. Her visualizations were different than mine. But my purpose is different than hers. And so I have to have gratitude for my uniqueness the same way that you are unique in your experience. And um, yours is definitely connected to energy. And albeit apparent, like Dolores Cannon talks about the uh, really there's a lot of reasons why we come to the earth school, and you have to complete every single thing in the earth school before you can not be a part of the earth school anymore. It's not like you can join it and go, you know what, I didn't like that game,
Mhm.
I don't want to play anymore. You're like in it for 2,000 lifetimes or what, however many it takes. But the ultimate thing that we're here to do is manipulate energy, which is ultimately to create. And so your but for you, how I see it almost is like, how do I want to describe this? And this may be like a fun exercise for you to do as well. Um, let's say you're out on a walk and you're in like a park. And so there might be a couple of clusters of people together, but generally speaking, it's all just single individuals. Maybe somebody's sitting on the ground with a blanket, somebody's sitting on a park bench reading a book. I would really be curious for you to go and find your own space there and try to send certain types of energy around. You could literally imagine everybody being encapsulated in a golden dome, and you're just sending healing energy to them. Start to observe, do they become agitated? Do they become more relaxed? You could even, let's say you saw two individuals having some sort of, I don't want to say conflict, but you can, of course, nonverbal body language is uh, more prevalent than our words, and see if you can send over peace. See what it would feel like to send over calmness their way. Of course, you're not trying to Nothing, you're not judging the situation as right or wrong, but just see what it would feel like with your energy through your heart space. Send over energy to them. Um, and see what, because I can almost guarantee, okay, I'm going to have them slow down. This is cool. I'm starting to get more of a connection with you. This is great. Just see what that would look like. And oh, I just lost it. Can you bring that back? And just know that you're not manipulating this. You're not manipulating them. You're manipulating the energy, but with the intention of love and with an open heart. The other thing that they're bringing me to are books for some reason. Books give me, and more specifically, writing. How do you connect with writing? Do you write? Um,
I don't. I've been
you,
told I need to practice automatic writing, but I'm lazy.
yeah,
I haven't done it yet.
well,
Yeah.
I've been told I need to meditate. You know what I mean? And I'm like, meditate. I don't got time for that. So I get it. I totally get it. What I would say, I even get like drawing as well, like just creating like drawing like again they're planting you in a park, so I don't know if you connect with nature a lot or go outside a lot in a park, but they keep putting you in a park, and it may be a specific park that you live nearby or something. They're nodding their head. Do you live near a park?
Right across the street. Yep.
Okay, cool, because they're
Yeah.
like they keep putting you in this park, they keep putting you in this park. um and so okay, cool. So uh, uh go to the park even, and well, you don't need to, but that's where they have you doing it, is I just have you like with a pack of markers, just like drawing something and creating without any regard to, because this is what they said is I'm not a good artist, so like what could I possibly be creating? It doesn't matter about what it is that you're actually making. You only, it's going to be for you. It doesn't matter where it's going. And so but what it will do is ultimately open up new channels of energy to flow through you.
Okay.
So, because one thing that they said that would be another way that you can connect more with your gifts would be to connect more with the inner child of Levi, and
Okay.
even to um, like, how would we want to do that, spirit? They have you. I see a journal again. Again, they just the writing has been in this journal, the drawing of the pictures has been in this journal, and now they're having you. Um, how would we, because this is what I just got, was that doing things that would connect to your inner child would give you a lighter energy, which would ultimately allow you to connect more with your soul and spirit. But what they said is like, I don't even know necessarily what that would look like. What would I necessarily do? And so what would be a good exercise there? Okay, so they're giving me two different examples. The first is like quite literally thinking of things when you were a child that you didn't get access to. And I can think of a few for me. I was really expected. I grew up in a pretty authoritarian type household. So when I think about, um, you know, just even like going to a friend's house and being able to sit on the ground, if I got dirty, that was just like not acceptable. And so for me, I think about these different restrictions that were put on me as a child and making a list and then giving myself permission to go do them, and allowing myself to go do. And it could even be something like, I know you said you're in California, like, going to like an adventure park, and maybe you do that. But another one that they just said would be like, go to the county fair. And go, do what kids, I mean, think about like a festival, right? Like they want to eat the cotton candy and they want to go on the rides. So allow yourself to ruminate on what it is as a child that you were restricted from or expected to do, and see how as an adult you could give yourself permission to do those things. The other thing that they're saying that would be, I don't want to say helpful, but it is a it's an opportunity. That's what Spirit just said. Is if you've got any family members that are younger, like nieces or nephews, or even let's say you are out in public and you see other children that might be getting denied something or being expected to act in a certain manner. See what that would feel like to give yourself permission as a child to go do. And this is like a silly example, but like when you're, it's silly, but maybe just exactly what your heart needs to start moving some energy there is like when you see little kids at a park, they're fucking feral. You know, they're
Mm.
screaming but as an adult, you would never scream at a park, right? Like, you would like, even if you're like wanted to say, "I'm free," you'd like I even catch myself sometimes, I'm like, "Let it rip." Like, let it rip. And so that maybe even, be is like connecting the heart and the throat chakra together to express yourself in ways that like, well, that's just for something I used to tell myself all the time, "That's just for babies." That's just for little kids, and that's just not the truth. And so if you can find those were just a couple of different ways for you to connect with your inner child and give yourself permission to do some things that would, ultimately heal some things, and then also connect you more to, your spirit team.
Okay.
And because what they said too is that, how to like there's sometimes where you have these glimpses of authentic purpose, but sometimes you're like, "I don't know if I'm doing what I'm am I doing the right thing?" That's how they almost express it. Am I doing the right thing? And they want to reframe that word right. Like, even with choices, there's no good or bad choice. There's just a choice that leads you to another consequence, that leads you to another consequence, that leads you to another consequence. And if you believe in quantum entanglement, and you know that basically the choice you didn't make, you made anyway, that reality exists as well. And so let's see here. Um, Okay. Like, let's say in a year's time, well, how do I want to? Okay, I got the impression put on me, but how do I want to articulate this? Okay, we just started 2024. So we're in February, but like, let's say 2025 is approaching. How do you take inventory that 2024 was the year that I don't want to say that you actualized it, but that you embodied it how you wanted to versus judging it for ways in which you didn't?
It's a good question. I usually don't go back and kind
Oh,
of
really?
see what the year brought, right? Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Mm.
I mean, that's beautiful, right? Because we don't live in the past. I mean, I don't wanna say it's unhealthy, but to take because also to say like, "Wow, I'm really proud of myself for how much I've accomplished this year," or, how much more love that I let in my heart versus I did before, or, how much more easily I make connection now versus before I was so guarded. Because
Mhm.
how they're describing it would be another area of opportunity would be like, I want to write down 4 things that I would like to do this year for
Okay.
myself that feel good for me. Um, and they said too, like, have it be a little bit risky. And when I say risky, like, I'll be vulnerable and I'll share something. I have been wanting to for like 2 years now. And I get how this might sound silly or like not scary or risky to somebody else, but I've wanted to go get a poster board and write some sort of message on it and just stand on a street corner
Mm.
and just hold this thing and share it with people. But there's some sort of fear I have associated to safety. There's some sort of story that I tell myself that that's not quite safe, whether it's like people are going to judge me, people aren't going to receive it the way that I want it to. Again, there's some way that my ego gets involved that has prevented me from doing it. And I know the moment that I do it, it's going to feel so liberating, and I know that one day I will, but I'm going on 2 years of myself not allowing myself to do that for based off of some story. And so they want you to, like, pick, and it could be like 1 a quarter. And it may be go have dinner by myself. You know, like, that could be for me, that's a very easy thing to do, but for somebody else, that would be a complete central nervous system attack to go and have a meal by themselves. So they want you to pick, like, again, if this resonates and if you want to, a thing a quarter that would that gets you excited, but then the next thought is like doom, because that's the ego, right? The excitement is that feminine energy, the masculine energy allows you to go actualize it. And so what would get you, and they said too that you've had some ideas, that there could be there's some ideas, and it could, like, one of the ideas that they just brought up was like, um making like building a toy car. Or another one that they just brought up, for some reason, was like, and my dad used to do this, but was like, making a knife or a gun. And I get that we're on YouTube, but like there's some sort of, I see some sort of weapon being made, not in a negative connotation or that it's in a harmful way, but you're still creating something. And so, what could be something that would challenge you, but also is exciting? That it essentially, how they're describing it is, it's a state of expansion versus contraction. It's a state of your energy expanding, and being in an expanded state. Um, the other thing that they would like you to do, is share more of yourself, just like in general.
You're not the first person to tell me that.
Yeah,
I
and this,
am,
yeah,
yeah,
please.
I am very behind the scenes type of
Mhm.
person.
Yeah,
Even it's funny that you mentioned the park and just let loose, and like even when I'm at the park,
yeah,
um, I mean, I don't really say it to my kids, but even myself, I'm like, I still have my inside voice outside because I don't want all the eyes looking at me or whatever. And I don't really care what people think. That's not the
yeah,
thing. It's just
yeah, yeah,
I would rather be behind the scenes, but yeah.
yeah.
So
Have
yeah.
you ever heard of the Enneagram?
Uh-uh.
Okay, so the Enneagram started my awakening. I'm a type 3. Um, it would not surprise me if you were a type 5, which is called the investigator. And every number has a core sin and a core virtue, but the type 5 is the only one where the virtue and the sin are the same, and it's called detachment. They're beautifully detached. They make excellent, like to have a type 5 on your team, they're going to have every resource you possibly could think of. They will be prepared for it. Um, and they don't allow their emotions to get involved in a lot of the decision making. But on the other hand, they a lot of times don't allow themselves to feel the emotions.
I was just
They,
gonna say, yeah.
they
My
struggle.
emotions don't get involved because I don't really have any.
Correct. Well, you have them, but we don't feel them necessarily the same.
Right,
They're
right.
very heady. They're very highly intellectual individuals. Um, but there is a wing that is the type 4, which is like very heartfelt. And so, what I would say so they're just, they're like your spirit just said, you're losing track here, Tiffany. What I would say is they would just like you to find pockets where and when I say pockets, not everybody gets to know everything about you. I'm not saying you need to go tell every person that you meet something personal about yourself. That's just not even reasonable. I don't think that everybody should do that anyway. In the sense of like, you know, uh, energy is to be shared. How? Hold on. Let me give me just a second. Just not everybody deserves to be in your to know everything about you. That's what I will say. But what I would challenge you to do is with individuals that have created a clear, channel and frequency of love, a clear channel of acceptance, or even if you're out and about and you can see that maybe somebody's struggling to do something and you've struggled with that, you can share some vulnerability. I can identify with that. I myself have struggled. That's vulnerability. That's showing, a different side of yourself that most people wouldn't necessarily, volunteer that type of information. Um, it will start to create different types of connection for you that, albeit in this moment, you may not, how do I want to say this? You may not see the value of it until you experience it in real life.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's see here. How are we? Oh, we got about 5 minutes left. They're bringing up your parents and your children, and I just asked them why, and they just want to validate your role as a father, which you just shared. They just want to validate, um, the the love that you have for them, and again, it may not be expressed in the way that, um, you know, uh, it's just shown. I see more of it as a show. You show your love with your actions versus the words. Um, and also they're just said that you're consistent, that you show up for them. You say what you're going to do and you do what you're going to say. Um, and can I get some more information? And that may not have been the same for you as a child growing up. There may have been some confusion there on words being in alignment with actions and actions being in alignment with words. And so just know that you are altering that ancestral energy, that you are transmuting what it means to be a father in the lineage of Levi, so that your children, and of course your children are going to transmute things that you did, because I can guarantee there's going to be a time where you did not love them the right way and you did not hug them the right way, right? Like, that's, nobody gets out of childhood unscathed. Even when people say that they had a phenomenal childhood, I love it, I can guarantee there's still something that you have anger or contempt, or that you need to seek, you need to get forgive for, let's just put it that way. um um, is there any question in particular that you would like to know? Whether that I can channel your guides for? Which, by the way, your guides, is it one or two? One or two? One or two? I get one of them. They almost look like. Well, I get two now. Now they've separated. They almost look like. They're armored, and one of them looks almost like those ancient, I don't even know what you would call it, but like they have ancient Egypt where they would have those really long noses, where they almost look like dogs, but they're not dogs. They've got the
Hmm.
pointy ears and the staff. And then the other one is armored as well, but it's more of the traditional knight type, where it would open like this, like there would be, um, and so, um, why did you just present yourself there? Well, they said that there may be some curiosity on what and who your spirit team is, but also, why are you showing? Why are you manifesting? Why are you manifesting that? They just keep saying to show, but I feel like there's something else. So give me just a second. Let me see if I can get it. Oh, okay. I got it. They want you to know that they're your armor, so you don't have to be.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. They're your armor, so you don't have to be, and you're safe.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Is there any question in particular that you would like me to ask them, or
Um,
or get some information for?
sure. I guess I just one question is I know I have a wall built up around my heart,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
it's I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain where um, I like everybody, but I just, I'm a good person. I feel most people are good people. I just don't
Mm,
show, I just don't
mhm.
show it out and about to everybody. So
Yeah.
is, and I've been told many times, get out of my head, get into my heart. But what are maybe some advice I could do to
Mhm.
break down this wall that I have around me that I've
Yeah.
kind of put up over all these years?
Yeah.
Um, and a lot of times I don't even know I have it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the funny
Yeah.
thing.
Of course, right? Like, we don't see ourselves, right? We only ever see reflections of ourselves, and um, so let's see here. I'm going to touch back on the Enneagram, because a core belief of the type 5 is that the world is too emotionally taxing for me to even engage. There's this perception of, I emotionally just can't even handle that. So they will avoid, they'll create different patterns of behavior, and a lot of it's subconscious. Um, like, if a type 5 does not want to do something, they will not.
Right.
No ifs, no ands, no buts. They will not do it. And it may be under the disguise of, I've got something else going on, whatever the case may be, but they just won't do it. So the first thing I would say is just, so how do we want to move forward on that one? Well, the first thing that they just want to acknowledge is just the awareness associated to the behavior, and that there is, due to the law of attraction, what you are seeking is also seeking you. So just even having the want or desire to be more open, you're already, whether it is a foot a day, and the sense of measurement going to be working towards that. So just know, just automatically and organically, that's already going to be happening because you want it. Um, um, I would. So the other thing that they're saying is, um, okay, they want. So are you married?
I am. Yeah.
Okay. So, this may be, and I get that there is going to be some laughter associated to this activity, maybe some little jabs at one another, but find out, what does your wife do that because you don't want to do it?
Okay.
What are some things that she has just taken on? Because I can guarantee there's some things that you've taken on that, because it's, again, you start delineating tasks and responsibilities, but find out what are some things that she does. And they're saying it would be helpful to potentially include the children, and not in the activity you're going to do, but what is a task that she does for the children? Because they said that there's going to be some extra motivation to go and move towards this thing that you perceive um, as too vulnerable. It's not even a vulnerability. It's like that is too draining. That is exhausting. It's not even like, oh, they're going to cry and I don't want to be around a crier. It's, I don't have the resources energetically to deal with that. And again, that is a story because you haven't dealt with it yet. So you don't even really know what's going to transfold or unfold, transpire, but there's the perception of it. I don't have capacity for that. So go to your wife, figure out something that you two do together, that she does, and potentially that associated to the children, but maybe it's not, because it could be something as like simple as like getting your taxes done, right?
Hmm.
Again, that may be your task because fives are like, they love numbers and, they love books. Like apparently a library to a type five is almost orgasmic to some, because they have knowledge and it's all around me. Anything that I could ever want or need is around me. There's a safety associated to that. Um, but I would, or pick any type of activity that you've noticed yourself avoiding. Because they said that there's a couple, and maybe even it is somebody's walking down the street and you just cross the street. You're like, I don't even want to cross them. I just don't even want to have to make eye contact. Again, that's just, I perceive that as too much. I don't, maybe they want to start a conversation with me. I don't have, whatever it is. But in that moment, remind yourself that you're safe. I'm safe. I'm safe. I'm safe. Because what it is, there's some sort of perception of unsafety that because um, our higher self and our soul remembers that we're connected to God, but we have forgotten that we are a lot of times, or source, or universe, whatever you want to call it. And that's where we start to come up with these coping mechanisms that by the time we're even 20 years old, they're subconscious. The emotional inner workings are just like almost automatic. And like 99% of our day is just done without us even having a conscious choice about it. So identify something that you currently can see that you avoid. And it may even be, they just said it's like cleaning out a closet. It's too much. I cannot do it. And start to reframe that interaction or that experience and come up with, I would say, some affirmations in the sense of I'm capable, I'm safe, and everything's okay. And hold on here. Give me just a second. I'm safe. I'm capable. Everything is okay. Um, and and do the activity. Walk past that person on the street. You don't even have to make eye contact. And then where they say would be very helpful for you, because everybody needs this. I don't care who you are, is sharing with somebody what it is that you did. And that's why I asked earlier around, like, do you take inventory? And it's not to like pick apart what you did, but it's to celebrate what you did. Because even in this seat that you're in right now, you don't realize how much healing and growth that you have experienced at all. They're saying, like, if anything, you kind of have a tendency to be like, I have a lot of work to do. I have a
Yeah.
lot of work to do. It's like, you know what? You don't. And if you, it it'll be there. It like, um, the other thing, and I get that I didn't finish that statement, but the other thing that they could say that would be helpful, practice for you is even like staring at the mirror in the morning before you do anything in your day and saying, looking in your eyes and saying, I love you 10 times in a row.
Yeah, okay. That'll be new.
Right. And just seeing what that feels like and just actually really seeing yourself.
Right.
Um, finding a lot of times this is another activity that you can do is just because, and is a lot of times with people, when I'm coaching or something, I'll do a gratitude journal and a lot of it's external stuff, but even to have a gratitude journal that you write about yourself and write things. What are you grateful for about yourself, Levi? And it
Okay.
doesn't have to be that you believe it today. You can be grateful for your heart and grateful for the way that you love people and grateful for the way that you build connection with people. Because right now, what I get, and of course, our brain is listening. So every time that you say something, um, I don't want to say positive or negative, it's true.
Mhm.
And so to even say, like, as opposed to, I suck at making new friends, start saying today, I am excellent at being a friend and I'm excellent at making new friends. And I would even challenge you. I get that your spirit team has given you a lot of different opportunities in the form of homework today. To implement them all or to take them all on would be like unreasonable. So pick and choose what resonates. Um, but I could even see you like once a day going to your journal and writing something kind about yourself. Because albeit how you described it was externally, right? Like I want to be more loving, I want to have a more open heart. The more you love yourself and the more open you are with self, inherently you will be with others. It's impossible. The more you love yourself, the more you have the ability to love others. Um, and just know too, they're also saying this, and they say you know this consciously, but this may be something that you have to learn how to believe: is nobody's out to get you.
Mhm.
Nobody's out to get me. Nobody's out to get me. Nobody's out to get me. I'm safe. Everything's okay. I'm capable. Um, exercises in affirmations will be helpful because they even said that for you to even say certain things would feel weird. Like
Yeah.
some things that I said, you're like, okay, uh, sure. You know what I mean? Um, and just know too, like you obviously are married, right? And so if you're struggling to come up with some things, ask your wife, "Can you give me 3 reasons why you married me?" And start with that and start building off of that. You could even ask your kids, "What is your favorite thing about papa or about dad?" And have
Okay.
them share that with you and write that. And so that's what I'm going to embody for the next month. And then when I'm like, "Okay, yeah, I know that to be true now. What's something else that you know to be true or that you want to believe that you can um that you want to believe and know is true?" Is there anything else with that spirit? Is there anything else? So they just want me to recapitalize or condense. Um, identify situations, people, behaviors where you start to shut down. Identify them. Start to acknowledge, I don't feel safe here. There's something about this situation that I perceive as unsafe. And then remind yourself, I got 2 armored guards that are there to protect me.
Okay.
So I am safe. And they also said small bites will be helpful. And so, like, when I hear small bites, it's like, you don't need to go out and, like, you know, shave your beard, start wearing pink, like, completely alter your reality, because that will not be helpful. That's like when somebody all of a sudden starts a diet that's like and then, again, whatever, they completely alter their life, and then, like, a month later, they're, 10 steps back.
Yeah.
Um, it's bite sizes, but, and this is what they said too, is once you start to bring more awareness to where you clam up or where you almost like seize, or even they show, like, by the way, the animal for the type 5. Oh, I just made fireworks. I don't
Yeah.
know how I made um the animal for the type 5 on the Enneagram is the owl. And oh, thank you, Amy. And so why it's the owl is because you'll be in a barn for about a half of an hour before you hear whoo, and you actually know that they're there. They are always taking in information. So where the transformation comes for the 5 is where they can extend the energy first, where they can say hello first, where they can hold the door first without the energy needing to come to them, so that they can perceive it as safe in the sense of, this, I do not have the energy for this. I perceive this as too energetically taxing. Um, let's see. They also are just wanting to bring up just your sense of humor. They say that you're a really funny guy. So that can be a way that you can connect with people as well. They just say that you're just a really funny guy. And more specifically, they say like your laugh is contagious, which I think is really beautiful. I mean, who doesn't need more laughter in their life? We all could use more laughter.
Everybody, yeah.
Everybody. Um, so does that help answer? Does that give some ideas? How does
Mhm.
that feel about the information I shared?
Yeah, it's good. I can pinpoint a few things.
Okay.
Definitely the thing with my wife that she does that I avoid is she makes all of the, like, appointments for the kids. She deals with the insurance.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, it's kind
Yeah.
of her specialty anyways, but I don't mind taking the kids to their appointments. I just
Yeah.
don't wanna put them
Yeah.
on the calendar. I don't wanna make them,
Yeah.
all the insurance stuff. I don't wanna
Yeah.
make those phone calls and
Yeah.
so,
And I
you
get
know,
that. And they're not
that
they want to be clear too. Oh, yeah, please go
yeah,
ahead.
I was gonna say that's just the instant thing that popped into
Yep.
my mind when you were talking about that. Yeah, so
And they just said too, you may, depending on your wife and her personality, she may be like, "Why are you taking this from me? Like, I wanna do,"
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, "This is my thing." But she also might be like, "Please," like, "I would love that." So,
yeah. I'm
um
sure she would say she was pleased, like, she's
oh,
like, "I
okay,
don't wanna
cool.
be on hold for 20 minutes," you know?
You know what's so cool though, is let's take that example, is like, even before you make that call, simulate the call. Someone's gonna pick up in 30 seconds. It's gonna be so easy, and within 5 minutes, I'm gonna be off of this phone call. You can create the reality before it even happens.
Right, okay.
Yeah, because the other piece is like, "Oh, this is gonna take forever." You're right, it will,
Yeah,
so just remember we're always shaping our and creating our reality. So, all right, any final messages here? Final messages. They just want you to know that you are divinely protected, that you are safe, you are loving, you are stable, you are a wonderful father, partner, you are a wonderful creator, they said. They even just said you're a wonderful co-creator. Um, go get a pen and paper, allow yourself to be, almost sit in like a childlike state, and allow yourself to ruminate around what would be exciting, for you to do, and like pick again like one a quarter, or just that will connect you with your inner child, that will also open up your heart as well. um let's see here. I was going to say they were giving you hugs and kisses, and then no, but it's like I just want you to know that they are enveloping you right now energetically, a blending of energies. um okay, before we go, there's a new energy that just popped in here. um There's a man in a military outfit that is here. I get a younger military outfit. They've got like the green hat on. Is grandpa on mom or dad's side passed that was in the military?
I'm not sure. I
Okay.
mean, both are past, but I
Okay.
don't know a lot of the history, yeah.
Okay, just know that there is a man that has just come through. He has, and it's almost like I see it in an old-timey photo. I see like almost like that, if you worked out like a hot dog stand, those like
Uh-huh.
silly. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
One of those hats, and they're in their, I don't know, that's like dress fatigues, I think that you would call it. Just know that there is an image, an energy of a man coming through. Um, I don't know exactly who it is, or they just want you to know that they are a part of your journey as well.
Okay.
So, okay, let's see here. All right. I just want to say thank you to Spirit so much for joining today. Thank you, Levi, for being courageous. And, we'd never met before. And so I just want you, just want everybody to know that we all have a spirit team and we are all being guided, whether we realize it or not. If you are joining me today, please like and subscribe. And you gained value, right? If you didn't gain value, drop me a note too. I am totally open to new ideas. And so, if you would like a reading like Levi just got, there is a contacts tab in the description below. And send me a message. I'd love to connect that way. Or if you would like to do something one on one, I offer 30-minute and 60-minute readings. I am live every Thursday and Sunday. Outside of that, thank you everybody who did join me today. I truly appreciate it. You could be doing anything else with your time. I love you all very much, and we will see you next time.
Thanks.